Welcome back to Naval Action. Well, today's video was supposed to be a through the ranks episode, but after been spending more or less an hour and a half trying to find that England so we could take it on with our weapon, I simply was running out of recording time, and instead of just spending a lot after that looking for another target, I decided to take out my Pavel as I'm currently grinding XP on it. And well, if I can't bring you through the ranks episode, at least let's get into a fight of a decent caliber. So we got a Bologna +5 here. We are north in the Mona Passage, and see what kind of mischief we can get into this. Alright, so we're coming in behind him. We're going to load chains on our starboard broadside and double on our opposite broadside. And alright, we're going to take a few shots here. Let's see what we're finding. 3 Bolognas, 2 third rates, and a single Vasa. And we're in a pretty decent ship here. It's a SD build Pavel, so we actually got the 150 thickness here. No bow guns, otherwise I would have fired those now. I'm going to try and get in behind him, see if I can hit a few with them with some chains, and then we're going to separate him up a bit and focus fire on all sides. Now they can penetrate us fairly easily, especially at this range, so as soon as we pass this little bugger here, we are going to alter our angle a bit. Now more or less wrecked our bow already. Too close really to fire with our chains on the Vasa there, so gotta hold fire. We've only unlocked one book on the Pavel here so far, so we're not at fully peak efficiency here, but pretty sure we'll make it count. Alright, gonna hold the chain shots for a bit. Hopefully get into, well, we have an angle on 2 of them at the same time. I think we can pretty soon. Although that guy is really giving us a perfect opportunity here. 49 and a 66 and a sail shark. That was a good hit. So that's one of them slowed down at least. We're going to go to full speed now. Load ball am on our starboard side. And we should be more or less loaded with doubles pretty soon. Push that third rate off to your side here. Come in point blank with the doubles. Carronades on the top deck, so they're not going to be loaded double, but still going to pack a punch at this range. Good hit. Almost reloaded here as well. Bit late for that one. Fire what we have. Let the last of them count. Right, so that guy is down to 77%, so yeah, we're going to outrun him pretty easily. And carrots are loaded here. Not going to be long until we need to do our first cycle repairs here. No stern targets for now. Alright, doubles on third rate. Few hits in the water. There it is, just wait for the last one to reload. That's one. We don't really have as much of a shot without angling too much on our starboard side. So I'm actually going to pop a repair here in here already. Just keep working on that third rate. Most of it is bouncing on our starboard side anyway, because they're firing at an angle too. We're going to keep our focus on that third rate on our left. Almost there. Turning for the shot. Now, when you fight squadrons like this, I'll just bring up the map. You'll find yourself in a position where you either have to go through them or around the entire enemy squadron. What we did here is more or less move in between them and separate them a bit. So we got 4 on our starboard side behind us, and we've got 2 on our port side. So we can more or less engage 1 or 2 targets at a time, keeping the others chasing us, and then focus fire 1 down at a time. That's what you want to try to do when you're fighting multiple enemies, is trying to separate them, minimize the incoming damage at you, and making sure you're doing all you can to maximize your repair once you do them. I just almost F that up there. We're taking 400 crew here because we don't have any really upgrades when it comes to repairs or anything. We'll still get there. Remove my sailing crew and my gunnery crew now. It's going to be a bit of a hindrance for a moment or two, but as soon as that repair is done, we should be back into full speed and but back up and more or less on full armor and in a good position to continue the fight. And we managed to get straight through them without taking that much damage. Alright, we're slowly reloading. We can allow ourselves angling a bit. You'll see most of his fire is bouncing right now. Using a bit of range and a bit of an angle to our advantage. Arrows out. Almost a high. Long's going out. Wait for the last ones to reload. And at some point in time, when you've been playing the game enough, you'll start to discern when it's a bounce. That's the sound of bouncing, and that's the sound of impacts that actually do damage. And you'll learn how to differentiate them. So you don't necessarily have to look too much to know how much damage you're taking or not taking. Arrows going out. Arrows bounce. No need to use those at this range. Right. Starting to pull away with that guy, so we'll start turning in a bit more to him. Hopefully he doesn't get in behind us. Hopefully he's just going to close the range here. Alright, repairs are done. Get our crew back on our gunnery. Reload. Do so on both sides. More or less reload on that side. Now they're coming full speed in behind us. That guy there is going to fall behind, but the rest of them will catch up to us at some point. Question is, what's this guy going to do? He's doing exactly... well, he did exactly what I wanted him to. I wanted him to turn and engage us, but looks like he's going to turn away. Give it a shot down the nose. And let's turn the other way. Right now, there's a chance these two will get in behind us. We don't want to allow that. So we're going to turn. I will start working on that Vasa instead. If you can avoid it, don't let them slip onto your opposite side, so they'll be facing you with their stronger side suddenly. You want to keep the ones you're working on in a position where you can constantly hammer the same side to wear them down. Right now you have a choice, or we have a choice. We can fire on that guy if we angle a bit more. He's closer, but it's still going to be an angle. But shooting at the Vasa is further away for now and at a different angle. So choose your targets. The Vasa is coming close and he's going to flat out to fire. So he's going to be the better target. We are taking a few shots from the rear. But that guy's turning, which is to our benefit. We can then now fire at the Vasa. View him a bit high. Then we can start turning the opposite way and start engaging Balthasar Tardy again. It is going to leave them slightly in behind us, which is not ideal, but he's coming closer. Alright, swinging back, re-engaging the Vasa, and we'll stick with him for a bit. Balthasar doing. And we're also kind of on a time crunch here. Battle timer says 1 hour and 90 minutes to completion, but in-game time also means that there's an hour and 3 minutes until the server goes onto maintenance. So that's also a consideration. Bit of an angle, but that's fire. And we're still penetrating. So right now our focus fire is paying off, even though we are taking a few hits to the stern here from the Vasa. I do want to get Balthasar down just to remove incoming damage, instead of spreading my fire across all the enemies. Want to see if I can take one down at a time, simply to remove the amount of damage they can do to us. Alright, reload's coming up. Think about 2 broadsides. If we can hit with full broadsides, should bring him down. Almost there, almost there. And just wait for the down roll. Doesn't come, so we'll use our D power, get the shot out. Power up again. He's on fire. Come down 1/5, so 1 more broadside should see him done in. And then it's time to pick another target. And we'll probably turn and run a bit with the wind and then gauge the Vasa down there instead of letting these guys close in too much. That guy's going to get close and try and get in behind us. Still bouncing most of the shots from that third there. No, it's a Bellona, sorry, not a third rate. Alright, almost full reload. Gonna wait for the full broadside. D power, decrease our heal. Fire. We're watching that damage go out. We want to get him below that. Ah! He's just above the last 20%, so 1 more round of fire is needed. And we're going to risk it for a biscuit here, because they are going to come in behind us for a bit. I do want to get that guy down completely. I know his pump's damaged. He's probably taking on a bit of water. But I do want to get him down completely. Keep an eye on our repair camera. We've got 2 minutes 30 seconds until we can do the next, but we're still in good shape. Mostly just crew suffering right now. Fire this one from the stern. Our rudder's just got taken out. Gonna wait. Fire. Now I'll repair our rudder, because we need to turn. Balthasar is going to go down. repower, and turn the opposite direction. And our new target, as it's really shit, will be the Vasa over here. We will take a round of fire or two from Baltar as he sinks, but is what it is. Bit high. And a bit too far forward. Lost about, what, 65, 70 crew by now? Maybe even 80. Gonna still hold off a bit before I use my first cycle rum. Baltzar is already down, that's good. We can focus on the Vasa. I'm not sure how much he's gonna bounce here once he fires the next round, but we'll see. May have to use a bit more angling instead of just being flat on. Yeah, he penetrated pretty hard there. Can I angle out a bit more? The other ones are still falling in behind us. They are completely undamaged, the last of them. That guy doesn't really count. Frederick is the one slowed down. Bellona with a bit of damage, and that other Bellona with a bit of damage to the stern, but nothing too serious. I'll turn it in, make sure we get a full side sighted on him. No reason to fire from the stern anymore. Fire. Good even hit. Angle out a bit more. Initiate the repair. And get a bit of crew back as well. I want to see if I have enough crew for a full repair cycle and full gun crew. If not, I'll have to disable the gun crews on this side as well. And that doesn't mean I can't reload on this side. I'm just not going to prioritize them. So by pressing 7, I can still reload my active gun decks and gun sides. But crew priorities will go elsewhere, and I don't have enough. So priority to the repairs. I'll see the other one starting to drop off, not drop off, fall off, an angle away from us, and that's because we're so close to the wind right now. And they can't really get that well into the wind. Last reload it. Few more broadsides in on the Vasa. And the Vasa's starting to turn on us. Not ideal. So I'm going to flatten out, maybe see if I can lure him to continue here off more or less on the staff here. We'll see. If not, we're going to do something drastic. We're going to swing around, come in through them, just to keep our guns on the Vasa. We have the wind to run down to him if he turns around completely. Looks like he is. That guy there is caught in the wind, and these guys will have to do a full turn, so we got a bit of speed to play with here. I'm going to come around to starboard here, in behind, and up, back up on the side of the Vasa. I want to take him out. Again, keeping with that philosophy of trying to remove enemy guns and enemy ships to reduce the damage you can take. Pick them apart one by one. Might get a cheeky stone rigging on Frederick there, depending on... he's turning too fast. So our port broadside is going to be fired at whatever that guy's name is. I'm not going to try and pronounce it and butcher it. Just a little short. Made a few leaks and a few hits, but nothing much. I could have stone raked the Vasa here, but I don't really fancy that. I want to get in here and hammer him. Repairs are done. One or two broadsides back in on the Vasa. He should be down. Our crew is back up to 765. 66. Right. Getting reloaded. Once we're complete. Turn in. Got to turn in here. Good hit. He's going to need one more broadside, and that should send him under. We've got Augustine coming up on our side. It's a fully crewed Bellona. Set in with an angle on her already. Still keep the Vasa within our broadside firing arc. Don't overturn. Almost did, so a lot of shots went into his bow there. You angled off Ian. Alright. Should be more or less good to send the Vasa down under. Use the heal by depowering. And the Vasa's down. Alright, I'm going to turn away from him a bit. To angle off whatever's coming out, because he's still going to be firing as he goes down. Right now we're point blank with that Bellona here. We don't want to do these point blank engagements more than we have to. Right now I'm keeping this angle to the Vasa just as he comes down so we can get out of his firing arc. But we don't want to be in here close range like this because he's going to penetrate with a lot of his guns. And we still have 3 other ships to contend with. Luckily our armor is able to sustain some of it. Carrots out. Bit low. He's falling off. Right now, the distance between me and that third rate, Bologna, third rate, Bologna, yeah, is increasing, and he's firing at an angle. It's going to help us mitigate some of the damage. So I'm going to continue because I'm safe on the opposite side there. And at some point, we're going to start following him in, but we want to increase our angle a bit and our range. Play to our strength with our long guns here. Turn in. As the last reload is done. Counter turn for a bit so you don't oversteer. Hit. Turn back out a bit. It's the same tactic. You've seen this done in other videos as well. We're fighting multiple enemies, but we're picking them apart one by one, thereby playing to our strengths, superior HP, superior thickness, and better guns. And we're just sinking them one by one. There's a lot of players out there that's pretty good at sailing upwind to keep the enemy behind you, picking off one at a time and making sure that if you ever need it, you have the wind gauge so you can turn and run down with the wind to engage them, but they can't get to you. I'm not as good as that, but I can play in a way that basically has the same effect. They are behind me. I will have to run full sails and not be that accurate if they want to get to me. I am a second rate and they are third rate, so they are technically capable of running me down if they wanted to. But with a few good maneuvers, you can keep ahead of them long enough to take one ship down at a time. And we'll probably need 3 broadsides here in on the Bologna to set her down, and hopefully we can get that done before they get here, the other 2. No, I'll have to adjust. Carro's out, a bit high. We got fire. Yeah, might even take another 3, go down completely. And that guy may end up in between us, becoming a bit of a nuisance. For us to take that guy down, but it's still going to leave us in a position where just one of them can actually shoot at the same time, so something. Fire the Carrows, both pen broadside. Oh, he turned off. Not turned off. He fell off the wind. That's odd. I'm not complaining. To our advantage. Right, he's down to around 50% of central structure. So yeah, 2 broadsides should do him in. We're on fire. Where? I understand. He's trying to burn out my cabin. Get. Does he not know how much it costs to refurbish a captain's cabin? Right, we got Raymond behind us, able to fire in on our stern, which isn't ideal, but we'll suffer it for now. Broadside out. Like most of them connect, but the pump's down, so he's going to start taking on water now. But we still need 1 more broadside in on him to take him down. But we know that now, and we're going to position ourselves to do so. And once that's done, we need to decide where we're going to engage the next one. Most likely we're going to do a hard starboard turn and then engage Raymond. Keep these two in behind us, so we'll be coming out around this way. He'll be turning that way, so we'll keep these two guys in behind us. That's the idea for now anyway. Hit. Almost full reload. Get ready to put him under. And off to Davey you go. No! No! Bad gunnery. Got overconfident there at my range. So he's still above the last 20%. However, he is taking on water with that red bump there. I'll be flipping on that balance where he's taking on water, but maybe not as much. Not enough to sink him quickly anyway. We'll just keep on this tack for now. And that might change our plan from before, but we'll see. Get it done. Fire the Carrows. Carrows are a bit out of the ineffective range right now. That was short too. My aim is off right now. What's this? So that guy, he's still maneuvering, still afloat. And that guy's going to come in and block our line of fire. Decision making time. What we could do is hope that he'll actually sink over time, and just turn to engage another one. When you do those kill missions or fleet missions, you can end up in a situation where you find a guy that's just above that 20% line of structure, and you decide, all right, he's probably going down, so you turn and you engage the others. And then once you've finished with the last one near you, you'll look back in the horizon and see one ship. It's still moving. It's moving extremely slow, but technically it's still in the game. And you have to turn and fight the wind to get back to him. And that's where my tactics comes with a disadvantage. As I usually sail with the wind, where those that usually sail upwind have a bit more of an advantage because they can easily turn back and re-engage. Alright, let's do a repair just to keep on top of it. Gonna wait for this broadside to be reloaded. This now. And as soon as the spare crew is done transferring, I'm gonna shift my focus away from my gunnery. So right now Raymond is a third rate. One packing more or less most of the punch here. We're bouncing again. Listen for the audio cue. Now he's starting to do damage. Fully reload it. Fire out. Oh, that's a pretty decent hit on that guy. Just to keep an eye on this, guys. He's still moving. Actually, look like he's dead in the water. He might be taking on water a bit. What we can do now, with the wind in the position is do a slight turn, and then see if we can get a few hits in on that guy behind us. It'll probably be a bow or port side hit. We're not going to get the full effect on it. Alright. Shifting our crew away from our gunnery down here. Pressing 7. So we're not going to be in gunnery crew focus anymore. Nor are we in sail. We'll just always keep our survival crew focus up. That should shift the last remaining 80 crew off to do the repairs here. E-power to decrease our heal. Fire out. more or less point blank. We're still bouncing his light guns, but his heavier guns will penetrate us, as you see there. Arrows out. Wait for the lower deck. Start pushing this guy around a bit. We'll angle in a bit to him, towards him, and that will push him slightly off to his starboard too. That means that guy is going to have to keep chasing us and can't turn to fire, but it might mean that guy can turn away a bit. Fall off the wind and fire into us. We'll see. He might even be a bit quicker than us and try to get in front of us. In that case, we can just fall off as well. Right, we'll reload it, more or less. There he goes. He fell off the angle. And we're in point blank now. It's not ideal for us. Just reduce the heel by a bit of turning. The closer we are to him, the more likely he is to... Back in by us. The more likely he is to actually penetrate, because our armor won't mean as much. And that guy snuck in behind us and took out our rudder. Repairs are done. Reload the port side battery. Still in good condition, and crew is still 5 minutes away, but we're not lacking. Starting to reload, so we'll turn in. Shot, took out his pump. Now, I'm not aiming deliberately at their modules like pump, magazine, and rudder as such. You'll sometimes see me shooting at rudders when I come up for a stern rake or just a few cheeky chaser shots. But otherwise than that, I'm not deliberately shooting for pumps or magazines and stuff like that. Simply because I'm lazy, I don't want to memorize where each and every ship has a pump and magazine placed. And there's also the RNG to actually hit them, so it's not something I prioritize. I almost have this guy down. Low. Few shots from the water, but most had effect. One more shot in on him. One more broadside, not one more shot. One more broadside and he'll be down. Start turning starboard, ready to engage the follow ship, and also to reduce the range to that ship in the rear threat right there. Bit of an angle. I can bounce. Did the damage he's already done to us just because we got so close for a little while there. While whichever's loaded. And there you go. Bye bye Raymond. Alright, we got two more or less full up ships, and that guy in the rear there we'll have to contend with. So if we can, we want to see if we can get in behind that guy over there. I'm still not going to try and pronounce that name because I'll just F it up. I'll see if I can get in behind him, at least get to his other side. That's already been damaged. And it will also mean getting him away from our damaged side. See what happens here. Wind is on our side for this maneuver anyway. It might mean that we'll end up with Frederick on the opposite side. I'm sorry, before that, yeah, one falling back isn't Frederick, that's what's his name? Augustine. Like, we're gonna get a raking option here. Maybe. Let's see how it turns us. Might find ourselves somewhat sandwiched here, but continue to follow him around. We should be able to get that guy Frederick behind us and focus solely on this guy. At some point, if he keeps turning, which he might, to get us in his firing arc, he'll be caught in the wind. Raymond, would you just sink? You're dead, you just don't know it yet. We're turning our stern to Frederick. Hopefully most of his shots will miss. The other guy should be more or less caught in irons. Continue straight ahead. See if we can time this. Just a decent hit, took his stern out, a bit of structural damage, and his pumps out as well. We'll turn in with him. It's going to be close up to the wind. Hopefully it's going to make him turn towards us, and it might shield us a bit from the other guy as well. Oh, he's coming the other way around. Right, turn to face him. 2 minutes 35 until the next repair. We're in decent shape. Oh, we didn't reload. I understand. Dang it. Got down with a few 68s up rear. Almost down. Reduce our turn speed a bit. I'm going to try the same thing. I want to get on the opposite side of that guy. If I can. If not, we're just going to take him where he is. Yeah, let's play to our range. Let's not get in too close. The difference on the damage on the two sides isn't that great, so the time we spent getting onto the opposite side is probably going to be more than one reload, and we'll just keep an eye on the damage we have on the side. Now, just as we try to focus on their most damaged sides, the enemy will also try and focus on our most damaged sides. Alright, 30 minutes. Thank you, admin message. Go away. Thank you. He's falling off. That guy's coming in. Alright, Raymond finally went down. Try and swing in behind this guy. Might sandwich ourselves by doing so, but we might even get in behind Raymond, or not Raymond, but the guy we don't, whose name we do not pronounce. Okay. I used turn too much. We're just gonna fire here. That should mean we can get a broadside in on Augustine and to finish him off. And we can get back on the strong side here, or present our strong side to the guy whose name we do not pronounce. So if we start angling a bit here, to our port side. That means Augustine's going to come in at us. Not what I want. But a good bow hit might even set him over. Oh. Nope, 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 nope. Other guy turned. They're currently stuck in the wind, so we'll get a chance to finish off Augustine and then come around. Fire once. Get enough penetrations here, we should set him under. Keep power to decrease the heal. Not enough. Alright, we'll stick with him, but we'll initiate the repair. "28 minutes left to finish the fight." Well, we've been going for 45. A little over 45, so I don't know why I didn't just look at the clock in the top here. I was looking at my own watch. If he's not sinking already, completely sinking already, he will once this broadside rings out. I do think he's going down. He's not moving. I can actually hit that problem below. He's going to sink. We can fall off and start re-engaging behind us. Pull the crew off gunnery. Gonna go 5 and 3, use a bit of rum. That guy's getting close. Engage him, and we still have that third rate that's pretty slowed down. But every time we do a maneuver away from him or around him, he's gonna have an even harder time to respond. So we can whittle this guy down on his own and then turn to face the slow one down. Turn in, not his most damaged side, but they're more or less equal in damage, so fine doing so. Augustine, go down. As soon as an enemy ship stops moving, that's the indicator that he is going down. He might just be moving ever so slightly, but his waterline is going down, so he's taking on water. He'll sink, but it might take a bit. Bouncing most of the shots coming in from that guy. The repairs are well underway. Carro's a bit high. Those two. Crew's coming back. Repairs are well underway, and we're almost at starting position or starting condition. Alright, repairs are done. Get the crew back on gunnery. Carrows. If you're not firing a full broadside, at least make sure the decks you're firing is fully reloaded. Otherwise, you're simply at some point going to end so much out of synchronization with your fire, it's going to get hard to make them into a full broadside later on without having to wait a fair amount of time. Do yourself the favor, at least only fire fully loaded decks. You don't have to wait as I usually do, because that's a habit thing. For a full broadside, just fire at least deck by deck and make sure the deck is completely reloaded. Otherwise, you're going to screw up the synchronization of the deck. And it's going to be harder for you to actually get a full broadside loaded and firing when you actually need it for something like a stern rake or point blank. And also take into account what kind of weaponry you have on your ship, because different caliber guns has different reload times, a different type of guns have different reload times. And I know not my lowest deck, my first deck is blown fields and the rest are long guns and carrows, so at that point already there's a difference in reloading. Alright, we're at a good range here where most of his fire is going to bounce. Frederick is coming up behind us, means we don't have to chase him that far once we need to shoot at him. Mike. And far out. Got the pump on that guy again. He's going to need at least 2 more broadsides to go down completely. And we've still got 22 minutes to finish this off. Should be easy enough. Him being at battle sails and the other guy coming up behind us at full sails, even though he's damaged, means that he is getting time to close in, but we should be able to reload a few broadsides and fire on that guy before Frederick will actually get here. Gonna go down battle sails ourselves. We don't need to run as much anymore. Alright, he's down by under 40%, pumps out. He's taking on a bit of water right now. Almost hit the water though with the carriers. Finally, Augustine has gone down. Now, the way we played this, with the way we maneuvered around them and in front of them and in through them, plays on the fact that we don't care about the loot. We just want to get the XP from killing them. If you wanted to get the loot, you'll have to stay in a bit closer. You'll have to turn and maneuver a bit more. Make sure you actually take your time to loot each and every one of them. And that will mean sustaining a bit more damage. And it will mean more close range fighting for at least some of the time. Just be prepared for that. In that situation, you need to be a lot more on top of when you do your repairs and which ship to fire up and when to stop and when not to. But for now, we're doing damage and just grinding XP. Right, the guy we don't talk about is going down and his guns are ineffective at this angle. Too high on the carrows, but we can now start focusing on Frederick. That guy's gonna go down, he just doesn't know it yet. Right now, we just want to focus our time in on Frederick. Give that guy the carrows. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, we hit one on each. That's something at least. Right, holding fire until Frederick is fully in the view. And now. And now it's just a matter of sitting here. We're taking a bit of damage over time, but most of his shots are going to bounce. We allow ourselves just to stay more or less parallel with him and take him out slowly. And we should be out of that guy's broadside range by now. Or broadside arc. Not bad, all hit. Get the carrows in there. Hit. And now from being 6 versus 1, we're now down to a 1v1, and that's definitely in our favour, second rate versus third rate. As long as we're playing NPCs. Had there been another player in the third rate, we probably wouldn't be in as good a position. Because the third rate can outrun and outmaneuver the second rate. But we slowed him down 77%, that's something at least. And we should have this fight in the back even so. Arrows ineffective. Think. Now it's just a matter of time, slowly wearing him down and keeping us off of range and bring him down. Yeah, 15 minutes. Thank you, admin message. No, I know. And the guy we don't talk about went down. You can sink Frederick quick enough. We might be able to do both of them. Depends on how quick that guy. Well. Get the smoke away. That guy, how quickly he goes down. And how quickly we can set Frederick down under as well. Alright, carrots are penning. Bounce. Bounce, bounce. So, 2 things to take away from this video. Maneuver around when you're fighting multiple enemies and maneuver yourself in a position where you can take on 1 and maybe even 2 at a time, depending on your ship and your skill set, and don't fire into water. And secondly, register what kind of incoming damage is being dealt to you without having to look top left all the time. Simply by the audio cue, what's bouncing, what's connecting and doing damage to you. That means when you start getting to know your ship, you kind of feel get a feel for how much damage is being done with each connection and stuff like that, or whether they're actually penetrating you or it's just noise. Because that can be a lot of noise, especially when fighting their group, without it actually meaning you're sustaining damage or in a bad position. Few leaks. Not intentional, though. I rarely go for leaks myself. The range between us just increased a bit and I didn't adjust my aim enough. Oh, I'm afraid we've got 14 minutes for you to die. The Carol's actually connected at this range. Well, they won't if I don't hit. Alright, you want to come close? Come close then. Let's make it into a brawl for the last rounds. I'll bite. Taking a fair few hits on each side, it looks. Actually a bit high. A few more broadsides and he'll be down under. Go. He'll most likely be too far under once we get this guy down for us to loot him. That's probably, regarding looting, it's probably one of the best quality of life updates they've done to the game, is that you can actually loot them when the game's over and everything's sunk. You can loot more or less at any range as long as you're slow enough, because before you'd have to maneuver into position after you killed them all to make sure you can get all the loot out of them. Luckily they took that thing away, so as soon as battle's over and everything's been sunk, you can loot any eligible target around the map, more or less, if you can draw a line of sight. As before, we used to spend all of the fight, more or less, fighting the wind, getting back to a ship that was sinking, and just to be able to loot it, because the enemy had a tendency to die with the wind facing you. Alright, one more broadside, he'll definitely be going under, or we'll keep firing until he's completely dead. Just trying to speed up the process here. Two reasons: because I want to loot that guy over there that's dying, or that's going under, and because I need to do the outro as well before maintenance comes up. Alright, right now he is dead and dead. He's going under, so he's slowing down to a full stop, more or less instantaneously. So we're going to slow ourselves down too, just to make sure we keep ourselves in a position where we still fire on that damaged broadside. Reload, gentlemen, reload. High. Arrows connected. He's going down hard. Next broadside will remove the last of his hit points anyway. But even at this point, if you're fighting one or multiple, once you're in a position where they are completely going down, and if you don't have anything else to shoot at, keep shooting at the sinking ship. If you're trying to grind XP, XP is based on the amount of damage you do, both mainly to hit point, and so the more you can do to this guy. Oh, you went down. All right, let's see if we can get that guy over there first. Not sure whether we. That's a third ray. Anywho, better repair some upgrades. See whether it's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy. I'm not sure we can get an angle in on guy over there. I'll try see if that's the one. It is. We got lucky. Oh wait, sand kit's hull. Yes, 50% more ship structure and a little less speed, but I know what I want to use that for. And combine that with a floating battle and be good. But that was the fight over. We managed to sink 6 ships, 3 Bellonas, 2 third rates, and a Vasa in just around an hour or so, right? So that was it. Let's jump out, see how much money and XP we made from that run, and limp back to port, rearm, refit, and get back out. Mission completed, right? Almost 500,000 done, and 6,100, almost 6,200 XP. Not too bad. All right, I'm going to leave it here. I need to get back into port and rearm, refit, and I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget, like, subscribe, dislike, everything YouTube-y, and stay safe.